Hello everyone, this is Praveen. Uh, Today I want to discuss about the checkpoints, and the checkpoints are a new way of debugging and logging, and we use the breakpoint, right? The breakpoint hard coded, and as well we use break user, and uh, you know like there are ways which we are doing it, but this is one of the one I have seen it is nicer, and we can use it for our purpose. And the T code for the checkpoints is SAAB. Let me go inside, and you see the checkpoint group is on the top, and activation variant. I'll talk about both of them now. And uh, I have already created a checkpoint group for my purpose. I'm using it for my GTS developments, and the checkpoint group. Uh, Let me go and inside, and let's see what is there inside. And if you go inside, okay, you will see the breakpoints are inactive, and log points are inactive, and assertions are inactive, and the background is also inactive. uh, like uh, when you create a checkpoint, all will be inactive by default. And then how do you activate is, once you activate, when you can select whether you want to break only like a breakpoint to stop your runtime there, and you want to debug from there. That's where we'll use the break, uh, and as well there is one more log point, and log point is simply you want to know whether the runtime has reached a particular point or not. And if the runtime has reached that particular point, and the the location of the log point will be logged. And as well you can use it, the log point, at runtime, you want to know what is the value of my variables, what is LV1 or what is LV2 at that point in the runtime. And as well there are assertions, uh, if any condition fails, the debug stops over there. And assertion, it has a four radio buttons, when when any condition fails, and whether you want to stop there for debugging, or you want to log what the values are there at that particular point of time, or you want to abort your program. And you have different options, how you want to execute if any condition fails. And this is very much particular to the condition fail. And let me go and show you the logs. And as I told you, if you select the log, and it shows whatever the logs are there. And let me open the log, and the log shows my runtime has reached the initialization section, and my runtime has reached the start of selection. And if I double click on it, and there are my variables, for now ignore it. We'll run our program and we'll see. And I'm deleting this log for time being, so that when we run next time, we can come and see how the log point exists. And the activation variants, and this point of time there are no activation variants. Okay, I'm good with it. How about the checkpoints and all, how they look like? And I'll come to this place. And before that, I want to go a sample code, and what I want to demo now. And this program, I have created two variables. One is LV1 and LV2. And in the initialization, I'm assigning two values, LV1 and LV2. And the thing is, as you know, and instead of if you look at the breakpoint, and here you will notice, I mean, our old scenario, we use like this breakpoint, and this is hard-coded breakpoint, and whoever runs it, and it will come and stop over there. And for sandbox environment, that is very much welcome. And we have another variant of the break Makam, and break or the Suri. if a particular user want to stop and debug there. Suppose sometimes your FMA request, Praveen, I want to debug from there, and we'll keep our functional guy user ID over there. And the problem with these statements is that once and our usual tendency is that we'll miss that. I mean, removing all these breakpoints, we won't remember. The development goes for 1 month, and by the time of when if a request to release, and we'll forget all the breakpoints. And to overcome that, we can use the checkpoints and the breakpoint ID checkpoint. And here, as the similar behavior of the breakpoint, you may want to stop here and debug from this point. And okay, and here if you notice, this is one breakpoint checkpoint ID, and this is one more checkpoint ID. This is by SAAB. They have used for their purpose. I'm using it, to show the demo. And as well, if you look at this statement, and here it shows, you want to know whether the runtime has reached this point or not. And sometimes we will not be knowing, and to exactly know whether we have reached or not, we keep a debug and we go there. And that I do many times. And moreover, and if you look at this log point statement, here log point ID gstr_gts and the fields LV1, LV2, and this shows that I want to log what are the values there in LV1 and LV2 at runtime. Okay, and there is the third one. The first one is the breakpoint, the second one is log point, and the third one is asset ID. And asset ID, as the small internal comment I made, you may want to debug or log if condition fails. Means if LV1 is not equal to LV2, and you want to as I've shown here, what do you want to do? Whether you want to break or you want to log it. And always it happens that always we cannot debug the program, but you want to run your execution, and finally at one point you want to go and see what are the variables are, what are the values are there at that particular point of time. And this assertion and the logging will be very much useful. And as well, here I have where small comments, you may want to stop here to debug, and you may want to log what values are there in LV1, LV2, and you may want to know if the runtime has reached this point or not, and you may want to debug or log if the condition fails. And these are the simple statements I'm using it for my purpose. Okay, I'm using one more log ID here. I'll show you. This program I have created in XRP 100. If anyone want to try, they can give it a try how it works. And I'm running this now. But thing is, before running this one, I'm simply I run this one, but I don't see any output here. And for our output, okay, we don't see any output. Okay, I'll keep a small write statement. Execution complete. See, if you notice, nowhere it stopped, and even if you go and check the log, there are no logs available. For this checkpoint. And what I want to do now is I want to first try with the breakpoints how it works. And let me go to the main screen, the breakpoints are already, the checkpoints are already created. What you will have to do is simply click on activate. When you activate, and in the previous, when you went for display, all are disabled. Now these are all enabled for change. Here you can specify, and you simply save it. And what happens here, whether you want to run for today, you want to activate this checkpoint for today or this week, or if you want to choose a particular particular day, you can use it. So, and for my purpose, I'll use it only for today. And as you know, we have not given any user or something. If you see here, there is a user. If you want to activate it for P Patel, he's a functional guy, and you can do so. And I'll show you that. And sometimes, you want to activate at the server level, you can activate so, and that I'll come to. And now this is personal activation. It gets activated for P Makam. I'm just activating it only for the only for the break. I have not used the log. I have not used the assertions. Let me go here. And sometimes you may want to know whether what are all the checkpoints activated, and what are all enabled, whether debug, whether breakpoint or the log point or the sessions. And the clue here is you go to this thing, and you display all. So here this exactly shows what has been enabled, and the object type is a checkpoint, and the object name, and this is enabled only for the user P Makam, and only the breakpoint is break, and log is inactive, and assertion is inactive. And this will expire, and if you see here, and this will expire after night 12, and this is set on this particular time. Whoever activates, one can come and see here. And the same way, if you want to delete the activated the checkpoints, yes, you can do so by clicking on delete all. Sometimes it happens that some people have activated and it is lying in the system, but the good thing is no one can activate for a year or a month, to trouble the team. So they can activate only for a maximum of 1 day. And when the checkpoints are released in the beginning, and the problem was that once they are activated, and there was no scope to deactivate those checkpoints, so it keeps bugging. And later SAP has changed their strategy, not the strategy, maybe it's kind of bug, and they have added deactivation as well. And okay, let me validate whether I have deleted or not. Okay, we are good here. And let me go back to my program. See here, two things. One is a breakpoint is there here on my checkpoint ID, and we have another one, but that is on a different checkpoint. Okay, let me execute it. You can notice it is going to the debugger, and here if you see, the breakpoint is the runtime has stopped here. I'm running it, my execution is complete. So this is how I debug at a particular point. And I really suggest wherever in the beginning of your custom code, you keep the checkpoints, so it makes you to debug. Or else it sometimes happens you have a 500 lines of code and if else conditions, and you can stop wherever you may require to stop and debug from that point. and now this is how it is. And the thing is, now I'll go, and I have activated only for the break, no, but not the log. And let's go and see if anything is logged here. If you see, and you have an option to refresh. And here I'll tell you one more thing. And in 2011 and all, the problem with checkpoints is the logs are getting added and added, and I mean, like all that, there is no scope for the deletion of the logs. And finally, one has to reach the DBA guys to delete all of them from the underlying tables. That was a very issue, and they have given option to delete them as well for the maintenance. And now what I want to do is I want to activate. I may not want to debug from there, but at this time I want to try with the log what happens, and I'm saving it. When I save it, I mean, I came inside with an activation icon. So when I save it, it asks for the activation details for what day. I'm just added. I'm going out, and I want to validate whether it is really done or not. And here, if you see, the breakpoint is at, and the log point is there. Great. Now we'll go back to our sample program. Here, if you see, for ZSTR_GTS, there is one log, and here it captures the value of LV1 and LV2. And this point of time, as the value I and J are populated here. And if you come down and in the start of selection, I mean, I want to log whether my runtime has reached this point or not. And as well, here I have at runtime the variable values will keep changing, and there is another point where I want to track exactly what are the values are there, and this is how it tracks. And there is one more log point ID, but there is a different checkpoint. I mean, we may not be able to log it. Okay. I've run it. My execution is complete. Okay, let me go and validate what my log says and where all it went. Okay, as soon as activate, the log is created with a similar name to the checkpoint. And here the first point is initialization, and in the start of selection there are two places where I have used my log point ID, and I'm opening it. Here, this is nothing but a sub key. This is the main key, and this is a sub key of my execution. And what is the program? It's a Makam_GSTR_GTS. This is my program name. So it has captured the runtime details. And if you see, my cursor is there, so it has come 2 times. Okay, let me see. Once for this one, and once for LV1, and once for LV2 in the start of selection, and I'll show you. And in the initialization, I have LV1 and LV2. Okay, and one more thing, you can clearly notice, what is the line number, and the line number for this one is a 10. Yes, exactly. And if you double click on it, see here, you'll know what is the field name that is logged, LV1, and what was the value there at the runtime, that's I. And the similar way you can look at the value of LV2 is J. And at line number 15 is nothing but I just wanted to trace whether my runtime has reached there or not. So there will not be any the field names. Yes, and but it shows what time it has reached, and what is the block processing blocks. And in the similar way, during the runtime at start of selection, my value is LV2 value is T. Yes, we are good on the log points. Okay, now what I want to do is I'll delete it because I prefer like whenever you are done with your job, you just delete it, or they lie in the system for ever. At least you try to clean up the data at least once a week, like so. We are good here, and let me go back, and what we have is a third scenario. The third scenario is asset ID, and asset, it always works with the conditions logical expression. What if the condition fails, and that is what we want to do. And let me go back. I'll do one thing, and if it is my personal activation, I don't have to delete it. Yes, we don't have to delete it. Let me the log point also inactive, and I do one thing. The break, I'm clicking on a break. So here it is asking no debugging possible during background processing. What should you want to do? Whether you want to log or but whenever in the debug in the background processing, what the program is supposed to do. That's what this pop-up is asking. But foreground, it is it stops there. Let me try. I have not tried this scenario, but let's try. I'm saving it. For today it gets activated, and let me go back and validate whether. Okay, great. It is inactive. The log point is inactive, and asset is a break or log. For the foreground it will break, and in the background it will log. That's what it means, the slash. We are in the foreground. Okay, let me run it. Here we are. So what happened? This point of time, the value of LV1 and LV2 are different, and it means that the condition has failed. And what we are asking the runtime is, if the condition fails, you just stop there. From there I want to debug. This is how it works, the asset ID. And you may not always want to debug from a point, but whenever something fails and you want to do from there, that's how the asset ID will be used. And if it is a similar case and in the background, yes, it logs the value of LV1 and LV2. Let's try that also. I have not tried so far. Yes, we are good here. So you might have understood how the asset ID works, and I have enabled the asset ID only for the break. And let me try if I can execute this program in the background, but okay, and I don't have any variable, so I'll say parameter x and before running the background, I want to go and show whether the log is already there. If you see here, there are no logs. Okay, now I'll set up this one for the background, and I'm sitting and I want to execute in background, and I'll say LVCL. Okay, immediate. Save. Okay, let me go to FM37 quickly. Okay, here we go, and here if we click on my spool, so it means that in the background it executed, and it has given a list also. And the thing is, for background what we have created is log, and let's go and verify whether the log is there or not. Yes, we'll have to refresh it. Oh, great. So now in the foreground it stopped the process, and in the background you see the assertion has failed at a line number 18 in the code. See, the session has failed at line number 18, and that's what it shows. Okay, hope you understood how the let me do one thing. So okay, and for the foreground case we have seen how the break works. It is working perfect, and for the background scenario it is logging the values. Great, we have tested two of them. Here we are good to go. And okay, what next? Here what I have is I have a subroutine display, and I'm using a different checkpoint, and irrespective of what the checkpoints are there in my program, I want to log all of them, or I want to break all of them. How can I do that? And with this approach, you have seen only only one checkpoint can be activated. And yes, you delete all. No. And for timing, what I'll say is before going to working with the multiple checkpoints in the program, and I want to show how you, I mean, the one what we tested is for the personal user ID. I mean, like, I'm the user and it is activated only for my user, and sometimes it happens you want to let your FA debug, or you want to trace when your counterpart executed the transaction, what were the values there, or if any condition fails, you want him to, I mean, you want the program to stop for him. And how can we set up so? And here I'm going inside again. Let me, I'll be deleting for all. Okay, and when you delete, it cautions you whether you want to delete all activations. I mean, this affects all the users and all the servers. And for the activations, we have three cases. One is personal user. I mean, whoever runs, I mean, whoever activates. And because I am P Makam, and it gets activated only for me, P Makam. And suppose I want to activate for my functional, the P portal, I can do so. And as well, sometimes happens you don't know, and who are all executing this process, but you want to track the log, and you can do so by activating at the server. And when you activated the server, I mean, be cautious, little, it gets affected to everyone. And whoever activities goes through your particular custom program, and the checkpoints are activated, means it will bug all the users. I mean, if you come to know that if anyone is coming across such situation, it is stopping debug for everyone, you just come and delete all, and it will solve the purpose. But before that, you just go to the display and you see who are all activated, and for all what are all users, and you can uh, delete them. Now, okay, we have now I want to activate for a particular FA. Okay, and I want to break it, and I want to log it. And as well, this is the case how it works. And let me go to the users. So here, and as I said, let me delete it, maybe it was there before. Okay, the break is there, and I want to log it as well, and I want to activate for one of the users, and my user will always be there, and because it activates for a personal user ID. And let me delete it, and I'll add activation like the user or the I'm not sure what stands for the global activation, portal, and what all activities you want to do for him, whether you want to only stop him, or you want to log his process, or you want to asset. And here, I mean, if you use a asset statement, and you will have a four options finally, and break for the foreground, and log for the background, and the second option is break and abort. In the background it aborts, and the third and the fourth option here is it always aborts whenever the condition fails. When LV1 is not equal to LV2, if that is a condition, if the condition fails, it dumps. And this is only for the logging, and you don't want to debug from there, you just want to log it. I mean, if the condition fails, you can do so. And this is what my choice, and I'm just activating yes. And if you see here for portal, and it's a break is enabled, log is enabled, and for asset conditions also, the log is enabled. We are good here. And see, you have just added a user, and whenever you save it, it asks for when you want to activate for him, and I'm saying for today. Okay, I'm going back, and if you see here in the display, we'll validate whether it's perfect or not. But I suggest, like whenever you activate something, you come back and see here whether it is what has been enabled, what is disabled. Okay, break, log, and it is perfect. And I've tested with my FA, and this is working perfectly. And I've taught him how to do this one. Okay, let me what I do is I'll delete all. And so far we have seen two cases, for personal ID, and one is your FA ID. And this time I want to activate on the server, I mean for everybody. You want to bug everyone, and go here, and you click on the server straight away, and you add. By default the server is this one. I mean, even if you don't know, you can simply click on F4, and this is our XRP system. and what I want to do is only log, and I don't want to check the assets. Yes, we are good. Yes, today it is activated on the server. Okay, let me quickly do something. I'll go to the server and I change my setting. Okay, what I want to do is I want to break, and I want to log. I want to you know for asset, what I'll say, it's again a break for the foreground and log for the background. I'm activating for today on the server level, and I'm going and seeing here. Here we are good. The break is enabled, log is enabled for asset for the foreground break, and the for background log is enabled. And if you notice here, my username is not there. So it is enabled on the server, and it should stop me as well. I'm going here, and yes, let me execute it. See, before my selection screen, usually what happens, the initialization gets triggered, so that's where it stopped. And what is the value of it will do, and now it has come to the selection screen, and I executed. If you see here, I have enabled this condition is not equal LV1 and LV2. They are SNT values. Yes, we are good. So wherever the GSTR underscore GTS is set, it is stopping everywhere. And before the selection screen display, as a usual behavior of the ABAP runtime, it stops at the initialization. Good. So you have noticed that it has stopped the program execution even from my ID, though I'm activated for the server. And let me go and check what has been logged. See, this is logged just before. If you look at my system time, this is just last minute the log is generated, so you will know it has reached the initialization, it has reached my startup selection. You will know what is the value. Okay, we are good till this point. Let me delete. So now we understood how it can be activated for personal user ID or a particular FA, or on the entire system. And the fourth case, what I'm trying to do is how can we activate for this guy. I mean, you can parallelly activate for this ID as well. I mean, you just go and activate the break, and you save it. It says something. Let me quickly go back and see what are all there. Okay, one is already enabled for system, so let me first delete all, and then I'll come and activate mine. See, for ZSTR underscore GTS, I did so. We are good. and let me take the other one also, WB underscore test, and you simply activate it. Though I mean it is created by standard, but it lets anyone to use it. And for this one I want to log as well. For the second one I just activated. We are good. If you see here, the break has stopped here. See, we have even activated for WB test also. Yes, we are good. And if you go and see our activation, what is there? The all activation. For G underscore str, the log is inactive, and for WB test, the log is active. And as you see in your program, here the log point is here. These two values will be logged. That's it. Okay, let me go and see. Go to the display and go to the log. You see. Okay, I tell you the problem. And what has happened is I have run the one before, and that's where the log exists. Okay, what we can do here is by looking at the timestamp you can know, and this is our recent execution. And what is the value there? LV1 is here. If you see, the time is just last 2 minutes. That's how it shows, and these ones are executed some 1 week back. Okay, I select this one. I'm deleting. So you might be wondering, like as the breakpoints in your program, you are activated the checkpoints and you are able to debug or log. But there may be cases like you want to trace your complete program or a function group, and that's where it comes into picture, the below one. And in the activation group we don't have a choice. We have to select each a checkpoint individually, and you have to activate it. And here I have created one activation variant, and I'll show you. I'll show you what it is. And let me first come and it won't ask you anything. Simply you have to give the variant name and you have to give the description. That's all. This is where I am. Okay, I'm going inside and I want to set up this thing. And here if you see, here I'll show you. Here we have a checkpoint group, means this is a checkpoint ID. I mean, what is object type and what is the object name. Suppose if you select the checkpoint group, you will have to give your checkpoint group GTS. And one more checkpoint, WB underscore test. I mean, if you know, and what all you want to do, you want to only log, yes, you select the log. And for this case you want to break, yes, you can break. And this is user specific variance. I just did so. I mean, this is for user specific. And suppose if you want to do it for your other user ID, Yes, you can do so, but I'm doubt. Okay, let me not experiment now. Okay, I just go and activate this point of time, and this is only the user. It is very specific to the particular person, but activation can be done for everyone. And here you have clear picture, and when you activate it on it, and it asks for the personal or the user specific, or the server specific. If you click on personal, it will ask for simply what day you want to, or if you want to choose a user specific, you check the user specific, and it asks you what user you want to enable. Perfect. Today. And as well, if you select the server, if you click on it, or else if you don't know this ID, you simply click on F4 and select from there, and you click on and it is set up. Perfect. We have activated for 3 guys. We'll go and display. You see here, these many checkpoints are activated. The checkpoint group for personal and all. And let me delete all of them, all the activations. We are not deleting the activation variant. We are just deleting the activations. And let me go into change mode, whatever that will be there. Now what I want to do is, now I know my checkpoints, but how about if we don't know the checkpoints, and you want to trace your program, you can do so. Not only your program, and if you know any standard program, and if you are sure that that program has used the checkpoints, you can come and simply specify the program names. Here what I'm doing, I've selected my program, and I'm giving my program name, and I'm setting it to this thing, break, only break, and I want to if the set fails, there also break it. I'm saving it, and I'm going back. I'm activating it here. It's a personal activation. Yes, perfect. Let me verify. Okay, this is for P Makam, and they are enabled. But if you see here, I have not specified any checkpoints, but I have specified only program, and this is my program. And let me run it, and let's see the behavior. If you see here, I mean, my program has a checkpoint, and whatever the checkpoint it is, and it may be WB test or GSTR underscore MM or TM, it will stop here. And as you see here, I have set up asset condition to break it. As this condition fails, it stopped here. Okay, here we are. As you know, the checkpoint is a different, but as we activated on the program level, and it stopped here, and we are not logging at all. Perfect. This is how it works. And as well, let me delete all. I have deleted everything, all the activation, I mean, and let me go to change mode, and here, and not only the program, we have three things. One is a class. I mean, you select an existing class and it works, and you select an existing function module, it works. The only thing is, if it is your program and you are developing, your own development and your classes, your own function group, your own, SA38 programs, you simply go and, wherever is required, you put your the checkpoint uh, information over there, like breakpoint ID or the log point ID or asset IDs, so that when this is moved from development to quality or even to the production, you can come here and you can activate these checkpoints. And maybe the third option, we'll have to create it, and uh, but we have to have a authorization to create a variant. And the thing is, these checkpoints can only be created in the development system like any other RISF object, and we will have to transport this one to quality and then to the production. And but whereas the checkpoint activation variants, right, and these can be created in a quality environment or the production environment, but only thing is you have to have an access. That's all. I think we have covered the breakpoints, how it works, and the log point, how it works, and the assets, how it works, and even if your program has a different checkpoints used, how it works, and as well we activate on the program level or we activate on the function group level. I mean, yeah, we have covered enough. And finally, this is the program in XRP. I mean, for anyone who want to test it, they can test it. So, and the only thing is ensure, go to SAAB, and I say everyone may not have access to create checkpoint groups, and and sometimes you check whether you are able to create activation variants or not. But for me, I didn't have access. I requested for one, and for this one I'll create a few more checkpoints for our purpose, like for EWM, WM, for transport management, TM, and for FICO I'll create the checkpoints. And ensure before testing this in the QRP, and you go and display all the active users, and verify that there are no activations. Then you keep testing this program. That's all. Thank you all. Bye bye.